reply. Someone reply. There are only 16 people. Can you see the screen, sir? Am I audible? Can you see the screen?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's start. Last class, we have seen the basic concepts of limits, and we have seen how to calculate limit. Different types of questions also have seen. You might have understood the definition of limit and all those things. In this class, let me talk about the application part. As I was telling, application is like more important. So let me take one of the application of the differentiation, that is maxima minima, and let us have a discussion on that, right? Because if you would expect a question on differential calculus, that should be from definitely from this application, and among these applications also this maxima minima has more importance, right? So let us try to talk about this applications of differential calculus. You should basically know how to differentiate a function f of x. These basic things everybody might know, like x square differentiation is 2x, sin x differentiation is cos x. All those things you might be aware of. So whenever we are doing the application also, we will need those things. So when we are doing that, I will obviously tell you what those things are, right? So let me keep the heading as applications of differential calculus, that is maxima minima. Maxima and minima. Very important applications of this is. Why this is used is, and I'm sorry, not why, it is used in your engineering mathematics. It is used in your different kinds of what you call other technical subjects also. Whenever a function is given to you, when you want to find its maximum value or minimum value, you will apply this method only, the first derivative test and the second derivative test. So let us just understand what is happening in this. But first I told you, if you have f of x, then what is df of x by dx at a comma b? What is the meaning of this term, sir? What is the meaning of this term? This particular term which I have written, d by dx of f of x at a comma b. What's the meaning of this? Anybody? Because I already told you this, that's why I'm asking. What is the meaning of this term? D by dx of f of x at a comma b. I'm asking like this. So what is the meaning of this? Anybody who has listened to the last but one class where the class got cancelled and the power cut, due to power cut I cancelled the class, right? That day I told you. What is d by dx? What does differentiation simply mean? What does differentiation simply mean, sir? I might have told you
Slope.
this already.
Slope.
Slope, right? See, I told you somewhere here. Dy by dx of x naught y naught is nothing but what? Slope of the function at x naught y naught, or exactly speaking, slope of the tangent at f of x at particular point x naught and y naught, right? So see, what we'll do is, if I say I have a function f of x and I'm telling that it's a continuous function, I'm telling it's a continuous and differentiable function. That means whatever function you take, it is in the given range, it is everywhere continuous and differentiable. That means there are no break points or there are no sharp points where it is not differentiable or not continuous, right? So now, like, you might understand this I told you yesterday also. Continuity, how will you say continuity? At a point limit extends to a f of x is equal to f of a, means it is continuous. the limit of the value and the function of the value. If they are both coming same, then that will be continuous, or else it will not be continuous at that point. How will I check differentiability? Differentiability is like this. This is a very common example. You might have studied a lot of times. Whose graph is this, sir? What graph is this which I'm drawing here? Modulus of x graph. This is modulus of x graph. Now, modulus of x is differentiable. Modulus of x is not differentiable at x is equal to 0. It is not differentiable. It is not differentiable at x is equal to 0. Why it is not differentiable at x equal to 0? Can anyone tell me? Why is it not differentiable at x equal to 0? Does anyone know this? See, continuity means it should be continuous, or else the limit and the function value will not be same. Differentiability means it should not have any sharp edges. Understanding wise, if you want to see, not differentiable means it's a sharp edge. It's a sharp edge. Sharp edge. What if it's a sharp edge? For example, say you have some curve like this. Say there is some curve like this. Say here at this particular point you're having a peak. It is sharp is there, right? Sharp. It is like, what do you call sharp? It's a peak point, like sharp point is there. Don't say peak, it's a sharp point. Whenever a sharp point is isolated like this, what I was telling, differentiation means differentiation of a function at a point is slope of the function at a given point, or to be specific, slope of tangent to the function at the given point. So when you get a sharp edge, what is the meaning of tangent, sir? What's the meaning of tangent? Tangent means which touches at only one point. Tangent means which touches the curve at single point. That will be called as tangent, right? So whenever the curve is smooth, like this, so I could draw a line which will look like this. Now this is not looking like tangent though, but please try to understand. At this point only it should touch, then it will become tangent. But here if you see, whenever you get a sharp point like this, touching this sharp point, I can draw more than one line. Whenever you get a sharp point, touching that sharp point, how many lines can I draw? Touching that sharp point, say I can draw a line like this, I can draw a line like this, I can draw a line like this, isn't it? All these lines are touching only this sharp point. Now, according to the definition, which line slope should I take? I don't know. Why? Because more than one line is coming there, so I don't know which line to take, so I will tell it is not differentiable. Are you understanding this? If a function is continuous and differentiable, they will also call it a smooth curve. In some textbooks you might have studied, given a smooth curve. What's the meaning of smooth curve? Smooth curve means it does not have any sharp points. If it does not have any sharp point means it is differentiable. If it's differentiable, it is continuous. Now I did not put an entire discussion on this, so I'm just going it quickly. Not differentiable means sharp points. If you have a sharp points, at that sharp point it will not be differentiable. Why? Because at sharp point you can draw more than one tangent. These are more than one tangent. When you draw more than one tangent, when you are able to draw more than one tangent, then what will happen, sir? Then you don't know which line slope you have to take. So you will simply say that it is not differentiable because multiple slopes or multiple tangents are being possible. That's why you say it is not differentiable at that point. Did you understand the point? Did you get this point, sir? Did you understand this? Tell me.
Yes, sir.
Very good. Now I am asking you, let me ask you one more question. say you have a curve like this. Say this is A, say this is B, right? I'm naming this as say f of x. I'm naming this as f of x. Now let me write two statements. You tell me which statement is true. Statement 1 is f of x is differentiable. I'm say writing the statement f of x is differentiable in a comma b. Second statement I'm writing f of x is differentiable in a comma b. Which is true? I am asking which statement is true. Yes, sir. Can anyone tell me which statement is true? Because you just understood, right? If it's a sharp edge is there, then at that sharp edge it will not be differentiable. That's what I've told you. So if there is a function like this, it is defined in this range, that is a to b. Then I'm making two statements. I'm making the function is differentiable in the closed bracket a and b, and I'm making the second statement f of x is differentiable in the open bracket a and b. Now, can anyone tell me which one of this is true? Yes, sir. Anybody? Take a guess. At least there are only 2 points. Do you see any sharp edges from A to B? Do you see any sharp edges from A to B? Yeah, I want you to speak out, sir, because I just can't go back and look at the
No,
chat.
sir.
Yeah, so you please speak out so that we will understand what you are listening to. Does anyone see a sharp point between A and B? Between A and B, do you see any sharp points? Yes or no?
No.
No. At A and B, do you see a sharp point? At A and B. At A and B, is it a sharp point? At A and B. At A and B, sir. At point A and point B. At point A,
No.
does it look like a sharp point to you? Yes, no. Come on. Hey, this is a simple question, man. A yes or no question this is. It's a sharp point, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, or no, sir? Anybody? How many people? Yes, sir, no, sir?
It's a sharp point.
It's a sharp point, right? You take a wire. Say, assume that this is a wire. At the end of the wires, it will be sharp, right? Or just imagine at this point and at this point, will you be able to draw multiple tangents? Yes, sir, because it is a sharp point here. I could see I just have to touch this point. So touching this point, I can draw multiple lines. So as soon as you draw multiple lines at those points, that becomes a sharp point for me, right? So at A and B, it is a sharp edge it is having. But between A and B, no. Between A and B, everything is smooth. Between A and B, it is like a smooth curve. So, which of this statement is true? Can you tell me now which of this statement is true? Can you tell me now which of this statement is true? First or second?
First one, sir.
Come on, sir.
It's the first one.
First one is false, sir. Because what is the meaning of this parameters? What is the meaning of this bracket? This bracket meaning is all points between A comma B, and also A comma B included. Whenever you write closed bracket, whenever you write like this closed bracket, the meaning is all points between A and B, and also A and B are included. So if A and B are included, function will not be differentiable, right? because at A and B it is not differentiable. But whenever I write open parenthesis, what's the meaning of this point? The open parenthesis, the meaning is all points between A and B. That's it. So whenever you write open brackets, it is all points between A and B. Whenever you write closed brackets, it means all points between A and B and also A comma B included. So if A and B is included, then the function will not be differentiable. If A and B are not included, then the function will be what? The function will be differentiable. Did you understand this point? Did you understand this question?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. No, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Right. Very good. Okay, so why I am telling you this thing is because to understand the basic maxima minima, you have to understand why it is differentiable in open bracket, why it is differentiable in closed bracket, what is absolute minima, what is absolute maxima, what is relative minima, relative maxima, all these terms you might have listened somewhere in your BTech course, but they are important, right? So to understand them, you need to know these basic terms, right? So I was telling you that if you have a function f of x and if you do the differentiation, you will get another function, and in that function you put a comma b, you get a number. So when I write df of x by dx at a certain point a comma b means I'll get a number. What is the significance of that number? The significance of that number is it is the slope of tangent to the function at that point. Clear, right? This everybody understood? Tell me, sir, yes or no, sir?
Yes, sir.
Sleepy fellows, you're sleeping, right? Everybody is sleeping. Idiots. Don't sleep, man, don't sleep. See, let me tell you two more points. I think these are very basic points. But let me ask you this. What is slope of horizontal line? Slope of horizontal line is dash slope of vertical line. Can anyone tell me this? What is slope of horizontal line? What is slope of vertical line? Anyone? Slope of horizontal line is horizontal line means how does it look like, sir? Horizontal line. Is x-axis a horizontal line or y-axis a horizontal line? Chalo. Say, let me write two scenarios like this. What is the slope of this line 1? What is the slope of this line 2? Why I am asking this is, if you know this only, you understand what I am saying. For your information, let me give you a few points. Say this is 1, say this is 2. So let this point be 1 comma 2, and say let this point be 4, and let this point be 2 again. So this is 4 comma 2. Right? Similarly, let this be 5, let this be say 2, let this be say 6, like this. So what will this point become? This point will become 5 comma 2. What will this point become? It will become 5 comma 6. If you have x1 y1 x2 y2, 2 points are there with you, how do you find slope? Can you tell me at least this formula, slope formula, whenever you have 2 points? Come on, sir. Whenever you have 2 points, can you tell me what's the slope formula? What is slope formula? Are you answering in the chat or I am missing, or what is it? Arey yaar. Nobody is replying in the chat as well. I think I could I have a very less students today. Why? I think the people who answer did not come, is it? So pressure is coming on you, is it? There will be some students who will be answering. They are not there, I guess. So among whoever is there, please try to answer, sir. Whatever you know, answer. Let it be wrong. I don't mind. Let it be wrong. It's all right. If you have 2 points, what is the slope of the 2 points? Like, what is the slope formula? Yeah, very good. So someone has written, sir, it is y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. Very good, sir. So same thing I will write here, y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. Modern way of writing it is change in y divided by change in x, isn't it? Change in y divided by change in x is nothing but slope. So can you tell me the slope of this line one now using the same formula? Can you tell me the slope of this line? Sumit Das will tell the slope of this line. Come on, sir. Can you tell me the slope of this line? Because I just told you if you have 2 points, this is the slope formula, and I have given a line and I have given you 2 points. So can you tell me the slope? Yes, sir. Yeah, Sumit, please tell me the slope. Since no one is answering, you answered. I am just calling your name. Don't feel bad. So here, let me call this as x1 point. Let me call this as y1 point. Let me call this as x2 point. Let me call this as y2 point. So what will be the slope of this line? Can you tell me now at least? Let me call this as x1 y1 and call this as x2 y2. Can you tell me what is the slope of this line? What is the slope of this line now?
0, sir. 0.
First one, line 1 is slope 0. Line 2 slope is?
1 minute, sir. y2 4 5 4. Sorry, 0. Oh.
Idiot, 4 by
Undefined,
0.
sir. Undefined.
Infinite, right? Very good. So this is what line, sir? What is this line? It's a horizontal line or a vertical line?
So first
Line.
one is horizontal line.
Very good. First one is a horizontal line. Second one is basically a vertical line. Correct. So the question I asked you was very simple. What is the slope of a horizontal line? 0. What's the slope of a vertical line? Infinity. Right?
Infinite.
So yeah, very simple. So if I ask you this, simple question, say this is line 1, this is line 2, which line has more slope? Which line has more slope? Can anyone just tell me now, just after understanding all these things? Which one has more slope? Without even giving any points, you should be able to tell now. Let me call this as line 3. Let me call this as line 4. What is the slope of line 3? What is the slope of line 3? Can you tell me? What is slope of line 4? Can you tell me? What is a line 3? Line 3 is a... How does line 3 look like to you? It's a horizontal line. So slope of this is 0. And line 4 is a vertical line. So slope of this is infinity. So if the line is perfectly horizontal, its slope is 0. If the line is perfectly vertical, that is 90 degrees, the slope will be infinity. So which line slope will be more now? Can you tell me, line 1 or line 2?
Line 2.
Exactly. So which line has more slope? Line 2. Why? Because it's more towards this side. So it is looking like from here to here, if you are going, this is increasing, right? Or another formula is slope is nothing but tan theta. What is theta? Angle made with x-axis. Angle made with positive x-axis. So if you see, angle made with positive x-axis is, here theta is 0. Say here theta is 30 degrees. Say here theta is 60 degrees. Say here theta is 90 degrees. So what is tan 0? Tan 0 is 0. What is tan 90? Tan 90 is infinity. What is tan 30? Tan 30 is say 1 by root 3. What is tan 60? Tan 60 is root 3. So the more steeper the line is, the more slope it has. Vertical means exactly it is 90 degrees. Right? I hope you understood the basic concept of slope. In fact, this is not what I was going to teach you though. But chalo, at least you understood what is the meaning of slope of a line, right? Now, let me draw you certain, let me ask you a simple question again. Let me ask you very, very simple question. Say you have some function like this. This is not looking smooth. Just assume that there is some smooth curve like this. Say there is a smooth curve. Sorry, sir. Say this is point A. Say this is point B. Say this is point C. Say this is point D. Right? Now, can you tell me, say, let me call this as f of x. Let me call this as f of x and x. What would be df of x divided by dx at point B? Can anyone tell me this? What will be df of x by dx at point C? What will be d by dx of f of x at point A, comma D? Can you tell me this one, sir? What is the meaning of, because I just want you to understand one point to one point. I'm just trying to link here, right? I'm teaching you something and I'm asking you the same thing here. So, but just in a slightly different way. So please try to answer this. If you involve, if you try to understand, then I'll definitely tell you in the most easiest way. You'll never forget those things again. So my point is, what is dy by dx at a point? It is slope. What is dy by dx at a point? It is slope of tangent, right? So now I am asking you, what is df of x by dx at point A, comma point D? What will it be, sir? Point A is here, like this is a point A, point D is here. Can you tell me what will be the differentiation of the function at point A and point D? Come on, sir. This will tell me how much class you are listening to. Yes, sir. It's a simple question. At point A and point D, is the function differentiable? At least tell me that. At point A and point D, is the function differentiable? At point A and point D, is the function differentiable?
No, sir.
No, right? See, at the edge points, I was telling you it's not differentiable. That's why I asked you this question, right? Which statement is true? This, if at all edge points are involved, it is not differentiable there. So I am asking you, slope means you will say not defined. Don't say infinity, not defined. Why not defined? Since function not differentiable. Function not differentiable. Did you understand this? Function not differentiable. Got this right. First, this point, did you understand, sir, everybody?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Now, can you answer this? What is the slope of the function at point B? This is point B, so I have to draw a tangent at point B. How can I draw a tangent at point B, sir? This is how I can draw a tangent, isn't it? This is how I can draw a tangent. It is touching simply at only one point B. Can you tell me what is the slope of the tangent at point B, or what is the differentiation of the f of x at point B? Can you tell me now? Yes, sir. Come on. Chalo, let me go back. What is the slope of a horizontal line?
0.
Zero. So what is the slope of the function at point B?
0.
Zero, right? I mean, I want you to involve, sir, because it looks like I'm teaching to some kindergarten kids. Don't do that, right? You can do much better. Can you tell me what is the slope of the function at point C?
0.
Exactly, right? Zero. Why? How did you get zero?
Horizontal line.
Because at these points, when you draw a tangent, the tangent is what line?
Horizontal line.
It's a horizontal line, perfectly flat line which is parallel to x-axis. It's a horizontal line, that's why the slope is zero. You
Yes, sir.
understand this?
Yes, sir.
Are you understanding this point? Right? So in any function which is defined between certain range, say you have a function, it is defined between certain range, or say it is not defined, is simply giving some function, it is defined in the entire x-axis range, like from minus infinity to plus infinity, right? And when you do f dash of x is equal to 0, what are you actually finding? You are actually finding these stationary points. What are these called as? These are called as stationary points. These are called as what? Stationary points. Why stationary points? These are called as stationary points or turning points. Or turning points. Stationary because the slope is zero, so that's why they are called as stationary points. Turning point because the slope changes from positive to negative or negative to positive here, right? I'll tell you what is a positive slope and negative slope thing, right? So what is this point here? This point is called a stationary point. What is this point here? It's called as a stationary point. What will be the slope of the function at stationary point? Please tell me, sir, what will be the slope of the function at stationary point? What will be the slope of the function at stationary point?
0.
Zero, right? So at stationary points, the slope is zero. So that's why you might have, yeah, in doubt. Zero, right? Very good. So slope at stationary points is zero. So when you do first derivative equal to zero, one time differentiation means first derivative, right? So when you do first derivative equal to zero, what do you get when first derivative, that is f dash of x? First derivative means like this, sir, d by dx of f of x. When you do d by df of x equal to 0, what do you get? You get x values which are stationary points, which are stationary points. Right. So if you observe one thing, stationary points are only what points are? Stationary points are only your maxima minima points. Stationary points are only your what points? They are your maxima minima points. Why? Because this is a maximum point, this is a maximum point, this is a minimum point. Now let me just, I just forgot to tell you one more thing. Say let me draw one more line here. Let me draw one more line here. Say let me draw one more line here. Say this angle is obtuse or acute. This angle is what, sir? Obtuse or acute? Is it an acute angle or it's an obtuse angle? Just 1 second.
Obtuse.
Hello, sir, class no, sir. Just जी 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 बिल्कुल. Yeah. So what am I asking, sir? It's an obtuse angle, right? Because it's greater than 90 degrees. It's an obtuse angle. Obtuse means 90 less than theta less than 180. Acute means 0 less than theta less than 90 degrees. So if at all it is in this range, it is acute. In this range, it is obtuse. This is acute. This is obtuse. So whenever you say I am giving theta is equal to 120, say I am giving theta is equal to 120, what will be the slope of this line? Can anyone tell me? What will be the slope of this line? So the slope will be equal to tan 120 degrees. What will be the slope equal to? So tan 120 degrees. So what is tan 120 degrees? Tell me, sir, what is tan 120? Hey, come on, tan 120. Ayo, tan 120, sir. Minus 1 by root 3, right? It's a negative value. All silver teacups, or you might have studied after school to college. In first quadrant, all are positive. In second quadrant, only sine is positive. Third quadrant, tan is positive. Fourth quadrant, cos is positive, right? In second quadrant, only sine is positive. So tan 120 means it is like basically tan 90 plus. So it is minus root 3, I guess. I am sorry. So whatever it is, basically it will come as a negative value. Why it will come as a negative value? Because angle is obtuse, so it will come as negative value. So just I am asking here, like in this range, what will be the slope, sir? In this range, if you find slope, it will be definitely positive. And in this range, if you find, like from here to here, if you find, what will be slope, sir? Slope will be negative. Why slope will be positive in all this range? Just you only observe, sir. You take any point, you draw a line like this, draw a line like this, draw a line like any point you take, draw the line. You will definitely get an acute angle point. See, it will have an acute angle. Whereas if you take this side and you draw any line, say draw a line like this, draw a line like this, draw a line like this, it will make an obtuse angle, right? Obtuse angle means it will have what? It will have negative slope or increasing slope, decreasing slope also you can understand. You can also understand it like this. Say if the line is like this, if the tangent is like this, it will have positive slope. If it is greater than 90 degrees means it will have negative slope. So the point is, at this particular point, specifically at this particular point, what is the slope? At point B, at this particular point, what is the slope? Come on, so tell me, what is the slope at point B? Zero,
Zero.
right? Yeah, 0. Before this, what is the slope? In this range, I told you what is the slope?
Positive.
Why positive? Because the tangent, wherever you draw a tangent on this curve, it will definitely make an acute angle. It will make an acute angle. Acute angle means less than 90 degrees. Less than 90 degrees means tan of less than 90 degrees is basically positive. So it will make a positive slope. So positive slope to zero slope. Zero slope to in this range from B to C, what will it have? B to C, what will be the slope? It will have a negative slope. So that is why this point is called as what? Turning point. That's why this point is called as turning point. Why? Because the slope is changing around this point. The slope is changing from positive to negative, or here also same thing. It is changing from negative to positive. It is changing from negative to positive. What will be the slope in this range? What will be the slope in this range? Can anyone tell me? What will be the slope in this range?
Positive.
Positive. Why positive? Because any tangent you draw, it will definitely make a acute angle. That's why it will be positive, right? Now, did you understand why these points are called as stationary points, or why these points are called as turning points? Did you understand why they are called as stationary points or turning points?
Yes, sir.
Stationary points because the slope is 0. Turning point because the slope is changing around this point. Before this point the slope was positive, after the point the slope was negative, or here before the point the slope was negative, after the point the slope has become positive. That's why they are called as turning points or stationary point. Now let me formally define what is maxima and minima. Let me formally define what is maxima point and minima point, right? So yeah, so there are actually two types of maxima minimas. So let me write it like this: maxima and minima. So maxima minima means they can be two things. The first one is called as relative maxima, relative maxima minima, or local maxima minima. Relative maxima minima or local maxima minima. The next one is global maxima minima or absolute maxima minima. So in maxima minima concept, you will have two things which you have to keep in mind. What are the two things, sir? It could be relative, or it could be called as local, or it is called as absolute or global, right? So I will just draw one picture, and one picture will understand what these things are. So very simple difference is there. So let me just draw a picture and let me ask you, say, or else let me just go back. Here at point B and point C, where is maxima, where is minima? Can you tell me, sir? At point B and point C, can you tell me where is maxima, where is minima?
Point B at maxima, point C is minimum.
Point B is maxima, point C is minima, right? So this is like very much visible that here it is maximum value occurring, here it is minimum value occurring. Now is this maxima minima a local maxima or an absolute maxima? Local maxima or global maxima? Is point B a local maxima or a global maxima? At least do you know that? Is it a local or a global? Is it a local maxima or a global maxima? Point B is maxima. I think everybody is clear with that because Caesar it's a maximum point. It's a minimum point, right? Now I am asking, is point B a local maxima or a global maxima? Just take a guess, then you'll understand. Take a guess at least. Yeah, anybody? Point B is maxima. Someone told it is maxima, right? Now I am asking you, can you just take a guess whether it's a local maxima or a global maxima? I like maybe you not know, but just I am asking you to take a guess.
So the point which is to the maximum point is maxima.
No, sir, all that is fine. I am just asking you a simple question. I am asking you, point
So
B is maximum point, right? I am asking you to take a guess whether it is a local maxima or a global maxima.
Local.
Local, right? Very good. So let me just draw two figures. Then you will understand the exact difference between local maxima or local minima and global maxima, global minima, right? So this is a very simple thing I am drawing here. Let me call this as A point, let me call this as B point, let me call this as C point, let me call this as D point. Let this point be something. Let this point be, say, let me call this as C1, C2, C3, C4. Here, can you tell me what is this point? So let me call this as D1. Let me call this as D2. Let me call this as D3. Let me call this as D4. Right? Now, can you tell me what are the maxima minima points here in this particular, say, f of x graph and g of x graph? In this particular f of x graph, can you tell me what are maximum points, like where you have maximum points?
C1, C3.
C1 comma C3 you have maximas, isn't it? Maxima
Yes,
points. C2, C4 you have
Minima.
minima, right? Here, can you tell me where do you have maxima minima? Say D1, D3 what I have, D2, D4 what I have. At D1 what I have,
Minima.
D1 I have minima, D2 I have maxima, D3 I have minima, D4 I have maxima. So D1, D3 minimas and this is maxima. Now let me ask you one more question. At what point absolute maximum is happening? Absolute means like maximum than everybody, right? Absolute means like सबसे ज़्यादा, where you are getting maximum value of the function f of x. In this particular graph, where are you getting maximum value of f of x? Where we are getting
C1.
maximum value of f of x? Where we are getting max value of f of x. Tell me, sir, where?
C1, sir.
C1. C1.
C1.
Here, where you are getting max value, min value also, you tell me, min value also. Where are you getting min value here?
C4.
C4.
C4, right? Very good. Yeah, very good. Here, can you tell me where you are getting max value, where you are getting min value? Absolute, like where is the function seeing maximum value, or where is the function seeing minimum value?
D2 is maximum.
Where is the, sorry? Where is it seeing
D2.
maximum value?
C.
C, right? Where is it seeing minimum value? Where is it seeing
Min.
minimum value,
D.
sir? D, right? Very good. Now, please try to understand this thing. Yeah. This point is the point where maximum value of the function is happening. This point is that point where the minimum value of function is happening. Now, if I do first derivative test, what is the meaning of first derivative test? This one, sir. If you do f dash of x means what? When you do differentiation, you get slopes, right? If I do first derivative test, will I be able to recognize point C and point D? Or is the function g of x differentiable at point C and point D? Is the function g of x differentiable at point C and point D? Tell me, sir.
Sir, not differentiable.
It's not differentiable, right? Why? Because they are sharp edges, they are at the edge points, right? They are extremities. Extremity points are not differentiable. Extremity points are not differentiable. Then how can you tell that it's a maximum point or a minimum point? Whenever you want to tell global or absolute maxima, whenever you want to tell global or absolute maxima, see, I will tell like that. global maxima. Global maxima is equal to maximum value of say at D2, D4, C, D. In these 4 points, wherever maximum is happening, that will be your global maxima, right? Similarly, what will be global minima? What will be global minima? Global minima is minimum value. Where is the minimum value? It could be at D1, it could be at D3, or it could be at C, comma D. So the only difference between absolute maxima, absolute minima, local maxima, local minima, or global maxima, global minima, absolute maxima, absolute minima is whatever points are there between the extreme points. Whatever points are there between the extreme points, when you do differentiation, when you do f dash of x and equate it to 0, you will identify all those points. But the extreme points are there, right? That at that point the function is not differentiable, so you will not be able to get those points in the first derivative test. So whenever you are finding first derivative test equal to 0, the points which you are getting are the points which are not extreme points. But when you want global maxima, you have to include the extremity points also, and also compare them with the local maxima. In among all these things, whichever is maximum, that will be the global maxima. Among all the minimum values and extreme values, whichever is minimum, that will be global minima. What is global maxima here? It is happening at a local maxima only. Here global maxima is happening at a local maxima. Here global minima is happening at a local minima, right? So global is nothing but just check at extremity points. Local is nothing but don't check at extremity points, you check between the end points. Like whenever you do f dash of x equal to 0, you are going to get all the stationary points between the end points. Is this clear? Did you understand this? Should I repeat it? Did you understand this? Yes sir, no sir, tell me. Are you even listening to the class or simply sleeping?
Yes, sir.
Listening, right? So, very good. So, my point is, I think you understood how to at least identify local maxima, local minima, global maxima, global minima, right? So, how to do the numerical is very simple. How to do the numerical, sir? You do the f dash of x equal to 0. Once you do the f dash of x equal to 0, what points do you get? You get all the stationary points or the turning points, or they're also called as critical points you'll get. And at each of the point, to know whether it's a maximum point or a minimum point, you do double derivative test, right? This is a single derivative test. Single derivative test will give me all stationary points. Double derivative test will give me what? Double derivative test will give me whether it's a maxima point or a minima point, right? So see, I will tell you what is double derivative test. Say you have f of x function is given to you. F of x is given function. F of x is given function, right? Then first you do, sir, what? Then you will do f dash of x is equal to 0 you do, and find values of x, and find values of x. Values of x, right? Say we got x1 comma x2. Just assumption we're simply taking x1, x2, x3. Assume we got it like this, right? Then you do what? Then do f double dash of x and check at x1. Say f double dash of x at x2 say double dash of x, say at x3, right? Now just imagine that this fellow is coming positive, right? Just imagine this fellow is coming negative. Just imagine this fellow is coming 0. If double derivative at a point, is positive, what is that point, sir? Can anyone tell me? If double derivative at a point is positive, what is that point? It's a maximum point or a minimum point? You don't know, right? So first let me tell you the concept, then I'll tell you, easily you'll remember. Right? Easily you'll remember. See. Because every time graph won't be given to you, right? So we might have to rely on this differentiation techniques. If graph is given to you, directly you can see the graph and tell. But every time they will not give you a graph. Excuse me. So see. Let me call this as x1 point. Let me call this as x1 point, or let this point be x2, right? What will be slope at x2? Can anyone tell me slope at x2? What will be slope at x2? Come on, sir. What will be slope at x2?
0.
So if I do d by dx of f of x at x2, what I'm going to get? 0. Why? Because flat line, horizontal line will come. What will be slope here? What will be slope here? Can anyone tell me what will be slope here? Tell me, sir, what will be the slope here and here? Say in this
Positive.
particular. Here the slope will be
Negative.
very good. So here slope is positive, here slope is negative. Slope is nothing but what? D by dx value, right? Df of x by dx value. Slope is nothing but that only, sir. D by df of f of x only, right? Now see, please try to understand this more carefully. Say I am asking you d square y by dx square. How can I write d square y by dx square? D square y by dx square is nothing but d by dx of dy by dx. Do you agree to this? If you differentiate dy by dx again, what you get? D square y by dx. If you differentiate dy by dx again, you will get d square y by dx square. Everybody agrees with this point?
Yes,
Because
sir.
everybody this point, this is different and this is different. Dy by dx square, this is nothing but dy by dx into dy by dx. This is multiplying two differentiations. This is different. This is differentiation of differentiation is double differentiation. Correct? Now see, it is like finding d by dx of already taken slope. That is nothing but change of slope. Change of slope. How do you find slope, sir? Slope, if you remember from the previous thing, I told you change in y by change in x, isn't it? Change in y by change in x, you are told. Change in y also, you have written y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1, correct, right? This only we have written if you remember. So the other value is, it can also be written like this: final value minus initial value in y divided by final minus initial in x, right? Now tell me, say I want to find the slope of slope. Dy by dx I already have. Around this point, I want to find the slope of slope. So between these 2 points, let me just imagine between these 2 points, I want to find slope of slope. So what will be final minus initial? So what is the final slope? Negative. Minus what is the initial slope? Positive. Divided by, say this is some 10, say this is some 5. Always x2 minus x1 will be positive, because this value will be always greater than compared to this value. So what are you getting? D square by dx square f of x. What are you getting? D square f by dx square as you are getting negative. Did you understand how you are getting this negative? I will just again repeat it step by step manner. Please listen to this carefully. Slope means what, sir? Slope means if 2 points are there, somewhere your friend or you might have only told me slope is nothing but y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. That is nothing but change in y by change in x, right? So change in y means generally the change is taken as y2 minus y1. y2 is final, y1 is initial. So final value minus initial value only is written. So slope is nothing but what? Final value minus initial value in y divided by final value in x minus initial value in x. Right? Now, we already know that if the curve is like this, on this side, whatever slope you take, on this side, whatever slope you take, that will be positive left of this point. And on this side, whatever slope you take, that will be negative. Now, I want to find d square f of x by dx square. Excuse me. D square y by dx square. That is d by dx of dy by dx. That is nothing but change of slope. That means differentiation of slope again. So change in slope by change in x. D slope by dx, isn't it? So d slope is final slope minus initial slope divided by dx. Dx is change in x. So what is the final slope you have? What's the final slope value here? It is negative. Minus, what is the initial slope you have? What is the initial slope you have? Whatever point you take here, the initial slope will be positive. So negative number minus positive number. Negative number minus positive number is negative number. Divided by positive number is a negative number. So if the double derivative test is coming negative, what is that point, sir? If the double derivative test is coming negative, what is that point? Tell me, if double derivative test is coming negative, what is that point? Yes, sir. If double derivative test is coming negative, what is that point? Yeah. Tell me, if double derivative test is coming negative, what is that point? See here, what is this point? Here, what is this point? It's a maxima point or a minima point? Hey, will you answer or should I just teach to blackboard and just leave? Yes, sir. Anybody answer? None of you are listening. None of you are listening. This is just waste of time for me. None of you are interested, right? Idiot, mathematics is a very important subject. It will definitely be useful in your life wherever you go, whichever job you do. Exactly, the slope might not help you though, but maths is needed, sir. So please listen, when you get an opportunity to learn something, make use of it. At least be attentive, and whenever I'm asking question, please try to answer it. That will help you. It will not help you. If you want, I can single-handedly teach. I will not ask any question. I can just go on. That will not help me anything. That will not help you anything also. So please, when I'm asking you, please tell me. So what is this point? It's a maxima point or a minima point?
Maxima.
It's a maxima point, right? It's a local maxima. In fact, I told you. So at maxima point, what is your double derivative coming as? At maxima point, what is your double derivative coming as?
Negative.
Negative. Why? How it is coming negative? Because what is double derivative mean? D square y by
Change
dx
of slope.
is nothing but change of slope. So dy by dx ka d by dx, right? D by dx of dy by dx. So here negative minus positive divided by positive will come as negative. So if at a stationary point, if the double derivative value is negative, what is that point? That implies what is x2?
Maximum.
X2 is a maxima point, right? Similarly, see sir, say you have a curve like this. Say you have a curve like this. Say you have a curve like this. Just imagine you have a curve like this. What will be the slope of the line here? What will be the slope of the line here? This slope will be what? What will be the slope of this line? What will be the slope of this line? What will be the slope of this
Negative.
line?
Negative, sir.
Blue color slope is,
Positive.
red color slope is negative, right? Say here I am asking you d by dx of dy by dx. So slope is nothing but dy by dx only. Slope is nothing but dy by dx only. Slope is nothing but dy by dx only. So I'm asking you, like say between these 2 points, I am asking, right? So what is the final value, sir? What's the final value? Final value is what? This is final. This is initial, right? Always time flows from here to here. This is final. This is initial. So what is final value? Positive. Minus what is initial value? Negative. Divided by the difference between these two numbers will always be positive. So that should be coming as positive. So what is this point you have here? What is this point?
Minima.
Minima. At minima, what will be double derivative? At minima, what will be double derivative? Can you tell me, sir, at minima, what will be double derivative?
Positive.
So if double dash of x at x1, if you check, if you double dash of x at x1, if you have checked and say it is coming positive, that means x1 is what? X1
Minima.
is a minima point. If double dash is coming 0, then if double dash, because it could come positive, it could come negative, it could come 0 also, right? If it comes negative, then what?
Horizontal.
Double derivative, not single derivative, double derivative.
Not differentiable.
It's all right, I'll tell you what it is. So my point is like this. Now if I want to define a maxima point or a minima point, see, maxima point is that point where slope changes from positive to negative. Maxima point is what point, sir? Maxima point is that point where slope changes from where to where? Slope changes from, tell me, sir, if it's a maxima point, slope is changing from what to what? Slope changes from positive to negative, right? Around this stationary point, if the slope changes from positive to negative, then only the double differentiation will come negative. Then only that will be called as a maxima point. How can I call it as a minima? When can I call it as a minima point? When the slope around the point changes. If the slope changes from negative to positive, if the slope changes from negative to positive, see, this is a minima point, I told you. Here, how is the slope changing, sir? First the slope is negative, then the slope has become positive. So if the slope is changing from positive to negative, it is called as a maxima point. If the slope is changing from negative to positive, it is called as a minima point. Very, very simple, sir. Here also you can understand. See, here the slope is positive to negative. Slope is changing from positive to negative. So it is what point? It's a maxima point. And here slope is changing from negative to positive. So what is this point? This is a minima point. Did you understand this? Is this clear, sir?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So what happens when it comes 0? That point is called as point of inflation. I'll tell you how to do that. It is like this. Say if I draw a curve like this. Say if I draw a curve like this, nice curve I'm drawing, say like this. See, I'm drawing a curve like this. What is the slope here? What is the slope here? Can anyone tell me? What's the slope here before this point? What's the slope?
Positive.
Positive slope. Very good. Here, what is the slope? Here, what is the slope?
Positive.
Positive, right? So when the slope does not change, see, before this point also slope is positive, after this point also slope is positive, but at this particular point f dash of x is coming 0. At this particular point f dash of x is coming 0, because wherever f dash of x comes 0, then only we will do double derivative, right? How did this x3 point come? This x3 point came when I did f dash of x equal to 0. And when I did double derivative of x, it became 0, right? So if it comes like this, let me just give you with an example. Example is like this. It's a very standard example. Say if I have f of x is equal to say x cube. What will be f dash of x, sir? Can anyone tell me what will be f dash of x? The f dash of x is 3x square. Equate it to 0. If you equate it to 0, what will you get x equal to? What will you get x is equal to? 0. This is called as what? This is called as stationary point. Why is it called as stationary point? Because at this point x equal to 0, f dash of x is 0. At this point x equal to 0, f dash of x is 0 means the slope is 0 there. Now see, sir, what I will do? I will do double derivative of x. If I do double derivative of x, what am I getting? 6x. 3x square differentiation is what? 6x. Now if I do double derivative, check at x equal to 0, what I am getting, sir? I am getting 0. I am getting what? I am getting 0. So if your double derivative becomes 0, then what I have to do is like this. If double derivative becomes 0, then I have to check triple derivative, right? Let me write it in statement form nicely like this. This is there in textbook and all, but it will be nice for you to understand here. Just 1 second. Yeah, sorry, sir. So see, sir, if x1 is a stationary point, say if x1 is a stationary point. Stationary point means what, sir? Stationary point means f dash of x1 will be what? It will come as 0. Then what you do? Then if f double dash of x at x is equal to x1 you have checked, so you got 0. Then what you do? Then you do triple derivative of x. Then you do, this is check. Then you do triple derivative of x at x equal to x1. You check this. Now, if it is 0, it could be 0, it could not be 0. If it is not 0, then x equal to x1 is called as point of inflation. X equal to x1 is called as point of inflation. Say if triple derivative, when you checked it got 0, then what you do, sir? Then you do fourth derivative of x. Then you check at x equal to x1. Say if the fourth derivative is coming positive, you call it as minima. You call x1 as what? Minima. If it is coming negative, you call it as maxima. Assume it is coming 0 again. If it is coming 0 again, what do you do, sir? You do fifth derivative of x and you check You check at x equal to x1. Say if it is coming 0, if it is coming equal to 0, or it could come not equal to 0. If not equal to 0, then you call point of inflation. If it is coming equal to 0, then what do you do, sir? Then you do your next test. Just 1 second. Give me just 2 minutes, sir. Just 2 minutes, give me please. Yeah. So sorry, I was getting a call. So very simple, sir. The point is, if at all your double derivative becomes 0, if at all your double derivative becomes 0, you go to third derivative. If at all your double derivative becomes 0, you go to third derivative, and at third derivative you check whether it is coming 0 or not. If it's coming 0, then you go to fourth derivative and check whether it's positive, negative, or 0. If it is positive or negative, if it's positive, you call it as a minimum point. Negative, you call it as a maximum point. If it comes 0 again, then you go to fifth derivative. So your odd derivatives means, what are odd derivatives? First derivative is an odd derivative, third derivative is an odd derivative, fifth derivative is also an odd derivative. At odd derivatives, you will decide whether it is point of inflation or stationary point, right? If at all it is not coming equal to 0 anywhere, any odd derivative, if it is not coming equal to 0, then you call it as point of inflation. If, I mean, that's it. So at first, third, fifth, seventh, all this you have to check. At some point, even derivative will become either positive or negative. If it becomes positive or negative at an even derivatives are what? Second derivative, fourth derivative, sixth derivative, and then so on. So can you tell me what is this point now? F double dash of x you're doing. So now the question you can easily understand. Say the question which I was telling is like this. Say I told f of x equal to x cube, right? So what you have to do, I have to do f dash of x equal to 0. So when you do f dash of x, I got 3x square equal to 0, then which implies I will get x value as 0 here. Then what did I do? Then I did f double dash of x. What did I get? F double dash of x? I got 6s. Now I have to check at x is equal to 0. If you check at x equal to 0, I am getting 0. Then what do I do, sir? I do triple dash of x. If I do triple dash of x, I am getting 6. And now you check triple dash of at x equal to 0. This is coming as not equal to 0. Therefore, point of inflation. If at any odd derivative, if the double derivative becomes, if at any odd derivative, the value becomes not equal to 0, that is called as point of inflation. Did you understand this? At any odd derivative, it could be first, it could be third, it could be fifth, anything. At any odd derivative, if it becomes not equal to 0, that is called as point of inflation. If the double derivative or fourth or sixth or eighth or 10th, any even derivative, it could become positive, so you call it as a minima. It could become negative, you can call it as a maximum. Is this clear, sir? Did you understand this? You following the class? Tell me, sir. You following the class or not? Yes, sir. Let me ask you one question then. Let me ask you some simple question. Say the question is like this. Say I have f of x is equal to 2x minus x square plus 3 as, say I'm giving option A, maxima at x equal to 1, comma minima at x equal to 5. The option B I'm giving you maxima at x equal to 1 and minima at x equal to minus 5. The option C I'm giving only maxima at x equal to 1, only minima at x equal to 1. Can you tell me the answer for this? Can you tell me the answer for this? How should I do it? How should I do it? Whether to find maximum? First, what I have to do, sir? I have to do single derivative test and equate it to 0. Yes, can anyone give me the answer? Which option is right? Can anyone give me the answer for this? Anybody in the class? There are 20 students, sir. Come on. So let me do the first one. Maybe I'll give you a chance for the second one. Say I am writing the solution like this. This is a given f of x. So what will be f dash of x? F dash of x is differentiation of 2x is 2 minus differentiation of x square is 2x plus differentiation of constant 3 is 0. Now what I have to do? I have to make f dash of x equal to 0. So when you make f dash of x equal to 0, that is 2 minus 2x equal to 0, which implies what you get x equal to, which implies you got x is equal to 1. Right? Now if you got x is equal to 1, this is stationary point. This is what point, sir? This is stationary point. Now I have to do f double dash of x. So what is f double dash of x, sir? F double dash of x is minus 2 because differentiation of plus 2 is 0, differentiation of minus 2x is 2. Now if you check at x is equal to 1 also you put, this will be minus 2 only, which is less than 0. Therefore double derivative is coming negative at x is equal to 1. Therefore it is what? Minima. Therefore it's what? Minima. Where you have minima? At x equal to 1. Which option is right? Oh, sorry. Double derivative is less than 0, sir. What is it?
Maxima.
Yeah, sorry. It's a maxima, sir. Maxima means option C is right. Very good. Next. Next you see, sir, say if I am asking you one more question like this. This I would expect everybody to do this, at least try doing this. Say f of x equal to 2x cube minus 3x square minus 36x plus 2 has its maxima at Say option A, x is equal to -2 only. Option B, x equal to 0 only. Option C, x equal to 3 only. Option D, x equal to both. X is equal to -2 and x is equal to 3. Yes, sir. Do this question. The simple question this is. This is asked in civil engineering 2004, 2 marks. Yes, sir. Same as the previous question only. You have to do first derivative. Then you have to equal it to 0. You have to find the values of x. Then you have to do the double derivative. And you have to check at stationary points what is happening to the double derivatives and all those things. Yeah, someone gave answer, I guess. Option A. Very good. Let me check. Someone has given option A as answer. Very good. See, I will check, sir. See solution. Say if I do f dash of x, what I'm going to get? So I'm going to get 6x square minus 6x minus 36. Next, I have to do f dash of x equal to 0. Why I'm doing f dash of x equal to 0? Because at these points only you will get stationary points. Because at stationary points, what is slope? Slope is 0. Slope 0 means first differentiation equal to 0. So this is 6 if you take common, x square minus x minus 6 equal to 0. So this fellow will somehow die that side. It will go that side and die. Sir, how do I find the roots of this? Sir, the roots of this would be x minus 3 into x plus 2 is equal to 0, which implies what I am getting x is equal to, sir? Sir, I am getting x is equal to minus 2 comma 3. Now this is first derivative, sir. Do the second derivative, double derivative of x. Sir, if I do double derivative, I am going 6 2s are 12x minus 6. Now you check double derivative of x. Say at x is equal to minus 2. And say you check double derivative of x. X is equal to plus 3. So if you do here minus 24 minus 6. And this should be 36 minus 6. So sir, this is coming as negative value, this is coming as positive value. So if it is coming as negative value, then that means this point is maxima and this point is minima. So which option is right? Perfectly, option A is correct. Did you understand this? Is this clear, sir? It's clear, right? Should I give you one more question? This time, let me give you a question on absolute maximum, absolute minimum. Simple only, but let me just give you. Say I'm asking you the question like this. Find the absolute maxima and minimum values. I'm asking you find the absolute maximum and minimum values. Of say f of x. is equal to 2x cube minus 9x square plus 12x minus 5. Whenever he is asking absolute maxima, absolute minima, he will definitely give you range. He will definitely give you what? 0, 3 range. Yes, sir. So same as finding local maxima and local minima only. Last one check you have to do. So please try to find this one, sir, everybody. Please try to do this question. Everybody take 2 minutes time and please try to solve this question. Is there anyone with an answer? Anyone with an answer? Let me do this. If you do f dash of x, what you are going to get, sir? 6x square minus 18x plus 12. So I have to do f dash of x equal to 0. So let me take 6 common. It will become x square minus 3x plus 2 equal to 0. Somehow this fellow will go that side and die. And this is minus 3 plus 2. So x minus 1, x minus 2 should be equal to 0. So x should be equal to 1 comma. So if this is f dash of x, what will be f double dash of x? So double dash of x would be 12x minus 18, right? So then I will check f double dash of x at x equal to 1 I am checking. So if you're checking at x equal to 1, sir, it is 12 minus 18. It's a negative value. So I am checking f double dash of x at x equal to 2. Sir, it is coming as 24 minus 18. It's a positive value. So therefore, it's a negative value means it becomes what? Becomes a maxima. It becomes what? It becomes a, right? Now, what is he asking? He is asking you to find the absolute maximum and minimum values, right? He is not asking maxima minimum. He is asking you absolute maximum and minimum values. That means you have to find f of something. So what would be f of 0? First you check f of 0, sir. So f of 0 is minus 5, isn't it? Because 0, 0, 0. Sir, what would be f of 3? Sir, if you find 3, sir, someone has to use the help of calculator. 2 into 3 cube minus 9 into 3 square plus 12 into 3 minus 5. This, if you find out, I think you should get this as 54 minus 81 plus 36 minus 5. So this should be how much, sir? This should be 4. This is coming as 4. So f of 0 is minus 5, f of 3 is 4. Next, I also have to find what is f of 1 and what is f of 2. F of 1 means 2 minus 9 plus 12 minus 5. So that should be equal to how much? That should be equal to, see sir, that should be equal to 0, right? F of 1 is coming 0. 1 second. Yeah, that is coming 0. And what is f of 2 coming? F of 2 means 2 into 8 minus 9 into 4 plus 12 into 2 minus 5. F of 2, if you see, sir, this should be 16, 24, 36, 5. That should be minus 1. Right? Now, can you tell me the answer? Can you tell me the answer? Where is absolute maximum value, or what is the absolute maximum value? What is the absolute minimum value? Can you tell me what is the absolute maximum value? Absolute minimum value. Tell me, sir. Now, at least you tell me. Absolute maximum is 4. Absolute minimum is minus 1. Minus 5. Right? So absolute maximum is happening where? The absolute maximum is happening at 4 and absolute minimum is happening at minus 5. So I think this should be the answer. Did you understand this? Tell me, sir. Did you understand this? Yes, very good. One more question I'll give and I'll stop it because I can't start anything else now. So it's better I'll give one question and wrap it up. Say the question is, it's a good question, sir. It's a nice question, I would say. Say he's asking, it is given that at x equal to 1, the function f of x is equal to x power 4 minus 62x square plus ax plus 9 attains maximum value. Attains maximum value. In the interval 0, 2. Then I'm asking you, find A. It's a good way of asking the question. So whatever concept you learn, you can apply it nicely. Tell me, sir. So what is the f of x given to us? So the f of x is x power 4 minus 62x square plus ax plus 9, right? So what will be f dash of x? So the f dash of x will be 4x cube minus 124x plus a, correct? Now, if I differentiate this, this is what I'm getting. So what am I telling, sir? What am I now asked is, I have to find what? I have to find, some disturbance is coming, one second. Right. So can you tell me what do we do next? Now it is telling that it is given that at x equal to 1, it is given that at x equal to 1, it is attaining maximum value. So what should happen, sir? F dash of 1 should be equal to 0. F dash of 1 should be equal to 0. Why? Because it is given that at x equal to 1, the function attains maximum value. So x equal to 1 is what? X equal to 1 is a stationary point. It's a stationary point. If it's a stationary point, then f dash of 1 should be equal to 0. So 4 into 1 cube minus 124 into 1 plus a should be equal to 0, which implies a is equal to what, sir? 120. Is this clear? Do you understand this?
Yes, sir.
All right. So let me stop it here. Maybe I'm leaving you a bit early today, but that's okay, I guess. So I'll stop this class here today. In the next one, we'll discuss something new, right? Any doubts you have, this is the time to ask, or else I'll stop the class. Anything you have to ask, sir? Notes I will give. One more class is there, I guess. Then I will definitely send the entire notes to you, what they are written in the class. So if at all any of the concept which you have really liked it, so you can refer to that notes, right? So I'll stop it here. If you don't have any other doubts, we'll meet in the next class. Thank you.